Hello, I'm Bradley Hurn, an agricultural business consultant for Brown&Co, based in our Kings Lynn office. Today I'm going to talk to you about budgeting and the importance of this, and in particular the challenges that we foresee and have experienced over the last 12 months. We're going to talk about as well how Brown&Co can help with businesses in managing cash flow and budgets going forwards.
Bradley, can you tell me the importance of budgeting?
So budgeting is vital not only from a management perspective but also from a development of strategy and implementation of that strategy. So if we look at the management benefits of budgeting, we can look at the basket of enterprises within a business. So we would start by budgeting gross margins, looking at yields, prices and variable cost spend. And then once we've got these detailed gross margins, we can then look at which enterprises are contributing to overall profit and contributing to covering the fixed costs within a business. Once we've built together the gross margins, we look at fixed costs and other income that may come into the business. Once we've developed a budget, we can then analyse and look at fixed costs, look at output and do some benchmarking, comparing how the business performs against other businesses within the same industry and market sector. And budgeting then allows for informed decision making, so we can take the budget. We know our cost of production. Once we've got this information, it then allows us to make informed decisions on marketing, for example. So if we know that our cost of production of our wheat crop, we can develop a marketing strategy around that, whereby once the price hits a certain level, we know we're hitting budget and hopefully delivering overall profit, which can then eliminate some element of risk within the business. And with our Brown&Co budget, we look at budgeting right through to profit and loss, and what happens to cash, whether that's source and applications of funds of cash within the business, and also it pulls through into a 12-month cash flow, which is useful for management purposes.
So Bradley, who's going to benefit from having a budget produced?
So the obvious people who are going to benefit from this is the internal stakeholders. So whether that's business owners, managers or shareholders, they're going to benefit from the detail within the budget on running the business on a day-to-day basis, and also across the farming year, which we know can be as much as 18 months to 2 years from the point in which a crop is planted to being harvested and then subsequently sold. The other people who are going to benefit from having a budget produced might be external stakeholders. One particular instance might be the bank, whereby a business is looking at expansion opportunities, whether that's increasing their potato enterprise, for example, or looking at taking on or increasing their livestock numbers. The bank might want to see how that's going to affect cash flow and profitability over a period of time. On the flip side, in another scenario might be if a business is looking at taking on another 100 or 200 acres on an FBT, what's the working capital requirement going to be from taking on that land? And the bank might want a full budget or a partial budget in this instance. Another instance where the bank might require a budget is where we're approaching the bank to talk about extension of overdraft facilities. Now, it's been well documented in the last 12 to 18 months the level of inflation that we've all been experiencing, and that's no different in the agricultural sector. Despite selling crop for a greater price, we're seeing that actually the inputs and the working capital required to trade through a harvest year is much greater than where it was 2 years ago. And this is causing businesses to have to discuss with the bank about increasing their overdraft facilities. And in lots of instances, the bank will need numbers and budgets to support these extensions, and that's looking at a 12-month period and quite often a 24-month period. And as you can imagine, it's quite hard to predict that far in advance at the moment, but having budgets which show what could happen and what things could look like based on what we know at the moment is beneficial and helps argue the case of any overdraft extension that may be requested.